So let's take a look at some examples of linear functions. And so the first example, we want to determine whether the function is linear, and if so, whether it is increasing or decreasing. Okay, so at part A, f of x is equal to 5 minus 2x. Notice that this could be rewritten as f of x equals negative 2x plus 5, and that is in mx plus b form. Okay, so that's definitely a linear function. I notice that the slope is negative 2, and if the slope is negative, the function is decreasing. And in part B, g of x is equal to x squared minus 3. This is not a linear function. Notice that linear functions have variables raised to the first power, not the second. So this is a quadratic instead. And so we are going to say it's not linear, and therefore we're not going to say if it's increasing or decreasing, because it does some of each. Okay, for number 2, we want to find the slope of the line when given the following information and determine whether the function is increasing or decreasing. Okay, we'll start with part A. The points negative 3, negative 5, and negative 2, 8 are on the line. And so m equals y2 minus y1, or 8 minus negative 5, divided by x2 minus x1, or negative 2 minus negative 3. Okay, and simplify. So we have 8 plus 5, or 13, over negative 2 plus 3, or 1, and that slope is just 13. Since it's positive, that line is increasing. In part B, we're given f of 1 is equal to 7 and f of 4 is equal to negative 1. And that really tells us that the points 1, 7, and 4, negative 1 lie on the line. Okay, so if that's the case, we can find the slope. Okay, y2 minus y1, or negative 1 minus 7, divided by x2 minus x1, 4 minus 1, and simplify. So that's negative 8 over 3. And that doesn't reduce, so we'll just leave it. And part C, we're given a graph. So I want to just find a couple of clear points on the graph, and I can do one of two things. I can either count on the graph how to get from one point to the other, or I can label the ordered pairs and use the slope formula. Okay, so if you see, we count down 2 and right 3 to get from the first point to the second. So that means the slope is negative 2/3. Okay, but verify that that is correct using the slope formula. And lastly, we want to write an equation of a line that is part A parallel to f of x and passes through the point negative 3, 5. So we're going to use the slope of the given line, because parallel lines have the same slope, which is negative 2/3. And the point given to write the equation of the line. Okay, and I'm going to start with point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where x1 and y1 are the coordinates of the given point, and m is the slope, negative 2/3. So we have y minus 5 is equal to negative 2/3 times x minus negative 3. Okay, and we'll just simplify. So y minus 5 is equal to negative 2/3 times x plus 3. And distribute. And so we multiply negative 2/3 by x and then negative 2/3 by 3. And we have y minus 5 is equal to negative 2/3 x. And that's, the 3's would cancel, so minus 2. And lastly, add 5 to both sides. Okay, and that gives us y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 3. Well, in part B, we want to find a line that's perpendicular to this given line, 4x plus y is equal to 8, and passes through the point 0, negative 2. So the first thing we need to do is to find the slope of this given line. And if the given line is in standard form, which it is, one option is just to take the opposite of a over b, or the opposite of the quotient of the coefficients of x and y. So negative 4 over 1, which is just negative 4. Another option is just to solve for y, and then you can find the slope because the line will be in slope-intercept form. Okay, well, the slope of the given line is negative 4, but the slope of the new line, I'll say m2, is going to be the opposite reciprocal of negative 4. So positive 1/4. And one other thing that we know is a point on the line. This is a very special point, which is the y-intercept. So if we know the slope and we know the y-intercept, then we can go directly to slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b, and in this case, y is equal to 1/4 x minus 2.